Hey guys, welcome back to Talking Trash. This is your host Mahir. This week's episode is based on Wrestlemania 36 that took place last week. My good mate Ryaneil is joining me this week. Just a forward, we recorded this podcast aiming to have it all in one go, but we got to talking and we recorded about 2 hours worth of podcast. So we decided to split it into two parts based on the 2 nights of Wrestlemania. Part 1 covering the first night of Wrestlemania and part 2 covering the second. This is part 1 of a two-part podcast. So hope you enjoy.
So yeah, we've got Ryaneil with us. He's one of my friends who I studied with at uni. We did first year of uni. Well, not really first year of uni. We did like a foundation certificate together, eh?
Yeah.
At Auckland Uni. So that's how we met. We essentially met on the first day, and we've kind of carried through.
We're the only lot who carry through.
I know. Not judging anyone else, but
I'm judging everybody else over there.
well, the reason we're actually making this podcast is for WrestleMania. So, how did you think the WrestleMania went this year? WrestleMania 36, right?
Yeah. I think they should have just postponed it.
Yeah. I think they should have postponed it as well because obviously they had no crowd and the whole feeling of WrestleMania being like this massive as event.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there at all. Like
Yeah.
I know some of the matches were really great. Like I felt that if they had the crowd backing, like the one with Undertaker and AJ Styles. Did you see that one?
Yes, man. That was
Yes.
cool. But I feel like they try to take advantage of the empty stadium and saying, all right, let's try to make this more like a movie.
Yeah.
Where they could have made it more realistic in a sense.
And I think they could have just made it that way, but if they actually had the crowd behind them, I felt like it would have been a better experience for everyone.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Did you watch that one as well?
Yes, man, I did.
You know, I think it was only about like 5-6 minutes. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't a long. It was like Goldberg versus Brock.
Yeah, I only ended up watching like the highlights for that match, and essentially it was, you know, they start the match. Brock Lesnar like takes him to the corner, him an F5. The first one Drew no sold actually. He kicked out at 1.
Yeah.
And then I think Brock kept on going. I think he hit him with 2 more, right? And he kicked out of both of them.
Wow. Yeah.
He kicked out of both of them at 2. And like you could actually, it was actually nice because you could still hear Paul Heyman saying, you know, keep going, keep hitting him with the F5. He can't keep going, sort of thing.
Sure. Like it showed that Brock is old.
Yeah.
That's what it literally showed. Brock because this time is gone, man.
Yeah. And I think Brock, with him not actually being around at all is the other thing. You can't have like a WWE champion who's weak.
Yeah, that's a stupid concept.
Yeah. So I think Drew really deserves it as well. I think Drew, his time has come, sort of thing.
Yeah, after so many years.
I know. And even after he came back as Drew McIntyre, they kind of pushed him around. They pushed him with Dolph Ziggler, and they won like the tag team championships stuff. And he kind of just nothing, and then all of that, and he's now being pushed to the moon. Which I'm not going to complain. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind, you know, him just going on and getting the championship. And also defeating Brock Lesnar as well. That's like a big name.
I know. Plus, like the image he's put out as like aggressive, pretty stern guy, it actually matches it. Being person Raw. If he would have went on to fight John Cena, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because one's like pure babyface. So.
But I think they could have made it a little bit longer though. I felt like being like a WWE, like a main event and on WrestleMania, they could have kind of extended it to maybe like 10, 15, like between 12 and 15 good.
That's still championship.
Yeah, and essentially it was a squash match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you look at it in the end. Like, yes, Brock Lesnar did get like quite a bit of an offense in the first couple of minutes, but after that it was all Drew.
True.
He kicked, you know, initially he gave him a Claymore and Brock kicked out. And then it was F5, F5, F5 from Brock, and Drew kicked out. And after that, it was 3 Claymores, and that was it. I kind of wanted to see more German suplexes. I only counted 3 or 4 maybe German suplexes. thing is, I mean, there's no crowd as well.
Yeah. So
if they had a crowd, they might have actually looked at making it longer as well. So, yes, I do understand that, with the COVID thing, they can't really have it go on for too long. But saying that, they had a 2-day event.
I know that's the weird part.
Like you could have just yeah, like you don't have to make it 2 days. You could have just made it into one. And the thing is, it's all pre-recorded. It's not actually live, is it?
Like the Undertaker one doesn't seem live because
I think there's no way Undertaker got up from the grave and got behind AJ Styles in the time frame that they actually showed. So there has to be some special effects
there's been added editing, man.
I think they only had 2 with the special effects, One was the Undertaker and AJ Styles, and the other one was John Cena and then the
That match was the worst match in WrestleMania history.
I know. It wasn't, to be honest, I'm not even considering it a match.
Yeah. It was just...
I understand what they're trying to do, though. I do get what they were trying to do. They were trying to kind of go back in time and look at John Cena's kind of history and stuff. But it wasn't even a tribute. It was essentially kind of Bray Wyatt going back in time, trying to erase his memory, sort of thing. Now he's just the Bray Wyatt that he used to be.
Yeah.
So, yes, he's just going crazy and putting everything in there.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Because I know they started out with his one, with Bray Wyatt and John Cena. They started out with Ruthless Aggression,
Yeah.
Because when he went indoor, because I remember when he enters the door, he faces Vince McMahon, and I don't even remember what he says. And then he goes and he becomes the John Cena from the Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah.
And I don't know what role Bray Wyatt was playing, though.
He was Kurt Angle. He was playing Kurt Angle at that time.
But was he supposed to be like the opposition in the scenes, or because I didn't quite understand what Bray Wyatt's angle was?
I feel like he was more of the one who initiates, like John Cena getting into that mindset, I guess, and then mocking him about it.
Yeah,
that was probably the best part of mocking him about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird match in all. Like, I was reading up on it because we were gonna make this thing, but I was reading up on it, and few of the people who have kind of made mentions of the same thing, they said that it was essentially him kind of going back in time, trying to erase John Cena's his kind of memories and his achievements and stuff. I don't think it's much of a tribute, though. It was more of him trying to snatch his memories and experiences and stuff. But then again, Bray Wyatt, I feel like they could have just made like a normal match out of it.
Yeah.
Like they did for AJ Styles and Undertaker. So should we go through the first night and kind of talk about what we thought? So did you go through the whole kind of movies? Sorry, not movies. Go through the matches and stuff?
Yeah, I kind of got bored.
There are no fans there. I think the whole point of having a kickoff is to kind of warm up the fans.
Yeah.
But you don't have any fans. Why would you bother with it?
People only watch it if they follow the storylines, basically.
Yeah.
That's why they watch it now.
Would you say that you're a casual fan, or would you say like you're a hardcore fan?
I was hardcore. I've gone casual.
I think that's especially after the COVID situation when they had no fans and stuff. I think the story is just boring, and I can't bear watching it. It's just too much for me. Yeah,
definitely. Like, if you were gonna look at this 2-3 years back, Edge versus Randy, then it will be a hyped up match.
Yeah.
Because, it was at the place. Like, even when the authorities were around, Edge versus Randy, last man standing, who wouldn't want to watch it, right?
Yeah.
So, and like now bringing them this late.
Yeah.
Edge is old, man.
I know. He's like 45. He's 46.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think Edge and Randy did have the hype. I think it's just because it weren't there. It didn't feel as good.
Yeah.
And again, like with Randy Orton, like how he is, he really slows down the whole match.
He takes his time.
Yeah, he takes his time, and sometimes you're just like, come on, just move up, pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I know like Rey Mysterio, like
Speed.
Andrade, but like come on, like you do have to start moving around. But I think Edge did look quite good in
He was very creative. Like, did you see when Randy was on the table? He literally holds onto the what do you call that? Ventilator.
I think it. Yeah. And another thing that he did quite well was I think he did like a drop kick sort of thing.
I know. Yeah. He did. Yeah.
In the performance, great. I think it was inside the performance center.
Yeah.
Where the stars train. There was like a pull-up bar, and Edge went up and did like a pull-up and drop kicked him, which was creative. I give him like a 10 out of 10 for creative. Yeah. But I think with Randy, you know how he is. Sometimes he just takes his time.
Too long.
Yeah, I think it could have been more intense.
I think they needed that crowd. I feel like if there was a crowd, they would have fought in the stands. And action outside.
It would have been so much better. You know, with the crowd in WrestleMania, even in general, without the crowd is essentially just a house show, to be honest. Because WrestleMania without crowds is nothing.
Nothing. Like, practically, the crowd would have been there specifically for that match and the Undertaker match.
Yeah, and McIntyre and Lesnar.
And it would have been it would have been crazy, like, because the guys from that time, they have a place in people's heart. You can say.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Like right now, if you say, "Oh, Randy Orton's gonna take on Seth Rollins," or who cares? We've seen that 10 times. But age Randy happens, still hyped about it because
it's the nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
and that's why I was saying that, you know, sometimes if they could have pushed it back till this was kind of settled down, we could have still had Roman versus Goldberg, which would have been a better match than Braun squashing Goldberg.
Braun was Braun, man.
I know. Okay, so coming back to the so essentially I kind of just skimmed through Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. Like, I saw little bits and pieces, but I wasn't impressed. Like, yes, they're amazing professionals and wrestlers and stuff, but I think I wasn't invested in their story, so I was like, nah, I'll just skip it. And then they had the women's tag team championship. So that was the Kabuki's versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
So, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think it was a good match. I think if they had gone any longer, it would have been boring. But with the time that they had, they did quite well. I think it was the right move to give Alexa and Nikki the belts.
Yeah.
Reason being, I think Kabuki Warriors have to split now, because with Asuka's not like, she's not meant to be like a.
She's a solo
tag team champion. Yeah, she's supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, I could see her and Kairi Sane kind of having their own bout. Coming up, hopefully.
Fair enough.
But apart from that, I don't have much. To be honest, I don't have much else to say.
But one thing that was really impressive was the Kabuki Warriors actually doing that double move on Cross.
Yes.
That was like, whoa, out of the blue. You don't expect them to work that great.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, that was something really nice. But otherwise, it was a decent match, I would say. Not the greatest, but a decent match.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see that on like the kickoff. I don't think this was the kickoff. This was probably like the first match on the card. Yeah. But that was a decent match. Like, that would warm the crowd up. Like, I would see that again. But I think like I said, if it had gone on any longer, it would have been boring. But with the time that they had, they did really, really well. Looking at the result now, and it's Elias defeated Corbin by pinfall.
Elias on King Corbin.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I watched it.
I couldn't be bothered.
Playing his whole negative role. You know, like, it just doesn't suit him.
But the thing is, with Corbin, you can't make him a face. That's the
true.
thing. He's like He's like the Miz. You can't turn him face.
I know.
He's best as a heel.
But like you know how he's just going on from person to person to person to person.
Yeah.
I think they should have him on a fixed storyline. Like him in a group he's very effective. Like, you can tell he's the man. But solo heel doesn't suit him. He's not Randy. He's not, you know. It doesn't suit him being like Elias came in and beat him up so badly.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny though. Elias going face is funny as well. But yeah.
But you know what's funny? Elias's whole thing, his whole shtick is kind of saying, you know, who wants to walk with Elias?
Elias, yeah.
And he couldn't do that because there was no crowd. Like, what are you gonna do?
They didn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's no way he can do it because his whole shtick is when you have the crowd around, he can actually hype them up.
Yeah.
But without that, he's essentially just like a mid carder who has no kind of special sort of thing that he does.
Yeah.
Like with Corbin, he's an amazing heel.
Yeah.
I don't see him turning face. If you turn him face, that would be like the
it won't
worst
suit
thing
him.
ever.
Like,
yeah.
You know, like some heels, they go a bit too far. I think that's what they did in this case. Yeah. Having two heels go at each other.
Yeah.
Didn't make
Although
sense.
Elias is not really a heel. He's like an anti-hero at the moment. He's not like a babyface, but he's not like heel.
True that.
He's like in the middle spot where he doesn't know what he wants to do. Direction, like, are you heel? Are you face? Yeah. I don't know. Like,
I can see him leaving and going to like Impact or AEW. I can.
Yeah, I would probably say so.
And they'll use him so effectively. He's got the body. He's got the strength.
He's a good wrestler. If you give him time, the thing is he hasn't actually been given the time for him to like have that impact. He hasn't had like a lot of match time either. And he's had like very small. Because when he first started, he had squash matches. If you remember that. Yeah. Because he'd have the finishing move and that was it. Like in the first couple of minutes, and after that, he's essentially just become like a performer where he comes and starts performing, gets beats, and I think they could have used him really well, but I think they've kind of just missed the mark with him.
Yeah, they misuse him also to hype up the returns of legends and stuff.
The thing is, WWE is overusing the legends, to be honest.
Because they know they're losing the old crowd they have.
Yeah.
AEW is doing way better job right now.
AEW is actually drawing that crowds towards them with the better storylines.
Yeah.
I still think AEW is being a bit childish, kind of just mocking WWE every show.
Jericho.
I know.
Jericho, man.
But I think eventually they'll kind of transition. I would like to see WWE versus AEW if they do eventually make it happen.
Oh, no, Vince wanted it to happen.
That's the thing. Like it's just a dream match because it will be Cody versus whoever the face of WWE is at the moment.
I feel like it's gonna be like you know how in WrestleMania, not last WrestleMania, I think the WrestleMania before, when Sting versus Triple H happened.
Yeah.
They tried to show WWE DX is better than WCW. Yeah. They brought all the DX men, NWO. NWO, if they came, there was like Big Show, Kevin Nash was there, but Big Show.
Hulk Hogan did Hulk Hogan come back?
Yeah,
he did.
I
think he came back. Kevin Nash came back.
Just the 3 NWO people came. Yeah. But if the WCW NWO came back, it would have been like.
It would have
been screwed. Yeah. Like D'Lo Brown and all those. And Sting solely smashed NWO.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the man. How can you expect a Sweet Chin Music to knock him out?
Yeah.
It was just.
It doesn't make sense to me. I think they were just trying to kill the character right down to the ground. Because after that, it was the Seth Rollins WrestleMania after that, and that was essentially the end of Sting's career, eh?
Yeah, practically.
I know, and.
If I was WWE right now, there was a click in TNA they had that Mafia.
Right.
WWE has all the rights to those people who are in it.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, Sting, right? Kurt Angle, Booker T, Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And then they have Austin Aries who was there. Yeah. They could have made them win. Those guys would have brought crowd to them.
Yeah. I mean, Samoa Joe's injured, and he was actually no, he's not injured. He's violated the health wellness policy or something, so he's away. Because he was going to be pushed with Kevin Owens as well. I think that's what I was seeing. Ever since he kind of got into the, he violated the policy. Yeah. He's just been pushed to the side. I mean, who else? Rey Mysterio is here. He's doing his own thing with. I think now what he's doing, he's just pushing them. He's putting everyone over, which is a good thing. And who else came over from TNA? Booker T's into his own commentary thing.
Yeah.
I hate his commentary, man. Like, he's so over the top.
Five times.
I know, Jesus. It's sometimes he's so he's unbearable. I think I'd rather listen to Michael Cole than Booker T.
JR. And
JR's transitioned to AEW though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Him, I think. Where's Mauro Ranallo though? Ranallo's on. I think he went to. I think he went to TNA, but I'm not sure. I
TNA's
think
no longer. He would have been Impact.
so. Impact. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's either going to Impact or he's gone back to AEW.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but
Austin
I think
Austin Aries left, I think, going to
he
AEW.
left though. That's
Yeah.
the thing because he came back to WWE and they
Yeah.
did shit with him. So
Yeah.
he left. He wasn't happy, and so did Neville.
Yeah, Neville, yeah, he's in AEW, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen Neville in a while though. What is he doing?
He's in AEW. He's
No, like is he? Who's he feuding with?
Not too sure.
Because I haven't been following
But
AEW.
he has long hair, has a beard, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw him. Yeah.
I don't think his character has changed. Like he's changed his name, but I don't think he's changed his character as much.
Gene
Since he
Ambrose,
turned heel. John Moxley, you mean?
Oh yeah, the John Moxley, bro. Yeah. Him in AEW is like, wow. Why couldn't WWE do this?
I know they could have done so much with him, and all they did was make him look like an idiot.
They named him Lunatic Fringe. They didn't use him. AEW is using him like Lunatic Fringe.
Yeah,
that guy, solely, he's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. Just shows you how much WWE creative kind of.
No, that's why Dean never renewed his contract.
Yeah. Anyway, coming back to WrestleMania, I think we're kind of digressing a little bit.
Yeah.
So Corbin versus Elias, couldn't be bothered watching. The next one up was Becky versus Shayna Baszler, which was a good match. I think it was good, but I think the result could have been the other way around.
Well,
I would have hoped that Shayna would have won because Becky's kind of sort of just been winning all her main bouts, and with the character that she plays, you know how she plays like the man character.
Yeah, she didn't.
I don't think she had like a lot on the line.
Yeah,
when Asuka was still like the tag team champion, but because she had never won against Asuka.
Yeah.
I would have liked them to kind of go that path and kind of have Shayna win, because Shayna looks like a badass. Like she could have ripped through like the whole roster.
Honest, she smashed Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
she
I mean,
destroyed him.
Yeah,
it was funny though. She used Becky as a battery to the. That was funny, but like showing. I think one thing they did though was like Lynch is the man. So she's beating up guys and stuff, right? They're showing, but like they could have made her like fight back. But she didn't.
I mean, I wasn't happy with the end. Like it was good. I enjoyed the match. It was just that I wasn't really happy with the end and how they finished it.
Yeah.
I think essentially it was not it wasn't a roll up, but they kind of just I would have expected.
I expected a huge brawl, like because they both are the same type of fighter, right? So huge brawl. Right now. It wasn't a huge brawl.
Nah. Because I would have thought if Shayna Baszler goes up and if she would have been, if she would have beat Becky.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ronda Rousey is coming back, but Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey would have been a big like marquee match.
Yeah.
I think WWE kind of just missed the spot with that one. Because if Ronda does come back eventually, I do see them going head to head.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think I mean, she should have won. I think Shayna Baszler had the win, because now she's essentially coming up to the main roster with one loss already to her.
Yeah, so that's gonna watch her.
I know, and same with Rhea Ripley as well. Yeah. But I think that's a good thing because it was Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT championship.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's now the NXT champion.
So is she in NXT now? It's a question.
So she's gonna go back to NXT, and Rhea Ripley's gonna come onto the main roster, which is actually a good thing because I was kind of getting tired of Charlotte hogging the limelight now. Because essentially all the bout she kind of gets into, she's like Becky. Most of the bout she gets into, she's winning eventually in the end.
Babyface.
Yeah. No, because Charlotte's a massive heel. She's not a babyface.
Oh yeah, now she's a heel. Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd rather see Charlotte as a as a heel. I don't think she would be a good babyface. It's like Randy Orton. You don't see Randy as a good babyface. He's the best.
The funniest thing about them is even when they try to be a babyface, they still have some heel character, like
heelish.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Randy is meant to be a heel.
Yeah.
In the same way that John Cena is meant to be a babyface.
No matter what happens.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what was next? Who?
The worst match was John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, and Jimmy Uso.
You know what? Okay, let's talk a little bit about that match. It was for the tag team title,
I know.
and there were 3 people in the match. Like,
Not 6.
I don't know what the rule was. Was it? Do you know what happened and why they actually didn't have the whole team?
I'm assuming like they had to elect a captain for the teams.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because it was a tag team match. Yeah,
They should be like
for the
6
tag
people.
team titles. If they can have the Kabuki Warriors and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross go ahead, if they can have a 5-man WWE Women's Championship match, why not have these guys in?
But the ending was funny though.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that John Morrison and them still hang. Like, are they still champions?
Yeah.
I would have kind of hoped that the Usos got the championship.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the New Days is starting to kind of get under my nerves now because they have the same shtick, and I know New Day and Usos are always constantly gonna go against each other.
Rivals.
Yeah, like you can't change that. It's almost as if it's like John Cena and Triple H or John Cena and Randy Orton sort of thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they were like constantly facing each other.
Yeah. But what I found really funny was like, they actually made Morrison land on the ladder.
Yeah.
And then fall down and then pick up the title.
I thought he won because he fell down onto the ladder.
Yeah.
And he was still holding onto the titles.
Yeah.
He let go after he hit the ladder. And I think
right.
I think that's what I heard Michael Cole say. Because he hit the ladder with the titles, he was the one. And that didn't make sense to me because when he let go of the belts by the time he hit the ladder.
Yeah. And all 3 of them were on the ladder when they got unclipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's out,
Yeah. So it doesn't.
So it should have been more like whoever lands on the floor first. With whatever.
With the title.
Yeah.
I think the basic rule isn't the basic rule that when you have to be holding on to the title when your feet hit the floor.
Yeah, I think so, something along those lines.
Yeah, because John Morrison was so far from the tag team titles. He had let go
and he rolled over to get it.
I didn't see that last little bit. Because I saw the highlights.
So he's like flat down, right? He realized, I had the title in my hand, so he rolled over and grabbed it, like. So, and then you see Kofi and what's his name, Jimmy, fighting. Like,
was it Jimmy or was it Jay? I think it was Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. So Kofi and Jimmy are like, no, it's your fault, bro. No, they're actually going, bro. Like, oh, okay.
I mean, I could always see the New Day and Usos kind of go at it, but I think New Day need to split up. To be perfectly honest, they'll be irrelevant as long as the group's there. But I think if they split up and WWE do it in the right way, they could do like a massive main event sort of thing. Yeah. But then again, if they split up, Usos don't really have anyone to kind of feud with. Yeah. So
what happened to Xavier Woods? I haven't seen him in ages.
He's on YouTube.
I know, yeah.
But I don't know what's happening with this thing because I know Biggie and Kofi have been kind of coming around and stuff, but I don't know why Xavier Woods isn't really on TV anymore.
It's weird.
Maybe he's got an injury or something. I haven't actually heard it. I haven't heard that he's got an injury or not, but who knows? Because the thing is, Tyler Breeze isn't back yet. I was hoping Fandango and Tyler Breeze came back sometime.
No, they're so annoying.
I'd like to see them back. Especially with the things that they did right before Fandango got injured. You know how they used to do like this little skits and stuff? I'd like to see that back. Because with R-Truth going around, he could make something really nice with them.
Kind of see it, but not clearly.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
The thing is, they're not... I don't know where Fandango is. I don't know what he's doing. But I think Tyler Breeze is just...
Where is Fandango?
You gotta look it up.
Where is he now?
Hold on.
Some YouTube's gonna come up. 7th March was Fandango prepares for in-ring return. NXT.
Oh, so he might
do
have NXT. NXT then.
Yeah.
Well, I know he was injured and he was away for like 7 months or something, and he hasn't come back up to the roster. But the thing is, I think NXT stars have been doing better, faring well. As compared to the main rosters, because there's so many people on the main roster that would have been used in NXT.
Yeah, fair enough.
Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, they're kind of just doing this mid card feuds. I know Kevin Owens is doing one with Seth Rollins, but after that ends, I bet he's just going to go down the mid card.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the NXT era. Like, you know, how if you go back in WWE history, there was a Raw era where Raw was the dominant force. They had the best era, and then it went to SmackDown. With Brock
SmackDown didn't have anything. Like SmackDown.
No, SmackDown had when Brock and they went around.
It wasn't. It still wasn't like their era, because Raw's always been their kind of main flagship sort of thing, where everything's been happening on Raw, and SmackDown's just more like a sports sort of thing where everyone's like high flying and stuff.
But I remember like there was a stage where you would ignore Raw just to watch SmackDown. There was that moment.
It must have been. It must have been when they had the fist thing in the main entrance.
Yeah, Yeah, so you rather watch, you know, and then now it's like NXT is where they're investing everything.
Yeah, I think NXT is kind of competing with AEW.
Yeah,
Raw and SmackDown are just kind of in their own trying to find their own way.
Like WWE has, I believe, way more resources than AEW.
I think they've got resources, they just don't have the overall. They've only got 1,000 everyone. And yes, you can kind of shorten the time periods, but then again, if you want to tell a good storyline, sometimes some people just have to miss out.
Fair enough. That's true.
Okay, so that was the women's Shayna Baszler. I think Kofi. They did some really nice spots on the Kofi Kingston, the men's tag team championship match.
Yes.
There was a few really nice ladder spots. Do you remember the one where John Morrison? I think it was it was the Usos. I think it was Jimmy Uso. He did a Starship Pain on the ladder.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
And that one, really nice. Kofi was on the turnbuckle. Morrison ran over the ropes, and did the standing. What do you call it?
Oh, the Spanish Fly.
Yeah, Spanish Fly.
Yeah. I remember that one as well.
That was great.
When Kofi Kingston went through the ladder, and he went to try and push. I think it was John Morrison and Uso. He went through the ladder, and I think the highlights that I was watching, they actually cut it at the wrong time.
Oh.
But I think they powerbombed him onto the floor.
Oh man, that would have been so. I feel it.
But anyway, moving on to the next match. What was the next match? It was
Gronkowski versus Mojo Rawley for the
24/7 Tag Team Championship. I couldn't be bothered. I think initially it was Mojo Rawley who won.
Yeah.
Because I think R-Truth was the champion, and he got pinned by Mojo Rawley. No, he was about to be pinned by the Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
And I think Mojo Rawley kind of removed him and kind of pinned him himself.
But to be honest, give it a month. R-Truth's greatest run was just before he turned heel. When remember he took a cigar and then he drank some water. He was facing John Cena.
Yeah. So essentially, when he faced John Cena with the little Jimmy stuff that he did. Yeah.
That was his run. But I think I believe that he deserved the championship.
Yeah. He should have won.
He should have won. It was like the Kofi moment.
Mm-hmm. But I think he still deserves. Like, yes, I don't think he's in main event at the moment, but I think he needs to win like either Intercontinental or like the matches that he has in the in-ring matches. He can kind of.
He's athletic, man.
Yeah, like he can do it. He's 50. Yeah, he's 50.
Almost.
I think he's one of the oldest wrestlers in WWE.
He's on the top 10 oldest. Rey Mysterio, him.
And he's so fit. Jeez, I know.
Us, man.
Yeah, man, I'm not even close, man.
Seeing a guy that age doing splits is like, ouch.
Yeah, but again, like R-Truth as his finisher, I don't think he's using the pump up powerbomb anymore. Which I don't mind. I think with him using the stunner, it makes sense. I think if it was anyone else who was using it, it wouldn't really fit anyone else in the current roster. Yeah. Like I can't see Seth Rollins using it. I can't see anyone else using it. It has to be Kevin Owens.
Do you think they're trying to make Kevin Owens the next Steve Austin?
I don't see it at the moment because he's still in the mid card. If they were, they would have pushed him through the moon like they did Roman in 2014.
But you know, like how Austin always fought outnumbered. He always was like the guy he doesn't have the boss.
Yeah.
You know, ever since Owens got the stunner, he rushed Shane McMahon replacing Vince. And Seth Rollins click, and that's him racing DX and stuff. I can see him getting into that. You know, they're building him up slowly.
It could be, and I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Kevin Owens really deserves the spotlight. He's kind of been in the shadow of like the Shield sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because ever since the Shield kind of debuted, he was kind of overshadowed, especially by Roman and Seth Rollins.
Roman got a huge push.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, Roman and Seth turned heel first time when he turned on the Shield. He and Roman were like the two faces of WWE at that point.
Which was good to like the Authority segment was fun to watch as well.
Yeah, but I think they just carried on for too long.
Yeah.
Because it was Roman and Authority, and then they also screwed over Daniel Bryan.
And Randy.
But that story... Randy Orton to an extent.
Randy, and then Sting came in to help, and then...
Yeah.
Randy. Have you noticed one thing, though? You know when Nexus was there? Randy alone took them out.
Yeah.
Authority was there, Randy.
Yeah.
Evolution, Randy alone took them out.
Yeah.
So I think he's the guy who takes everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, if he has to, he can go crazy.
Yeah.
They're really protecting his punt as well. He hasn't actually, like, in the last how many years I haven't seen him actually use it.
I've seen him tempting to, you know how but
yeah,
he never connects.
They always tease it. They always tease it. I don't think they're gonna do it because I know they've got it banned, eh?
Yeah.
But they also had the stomp. No, what was it called? Seth Rollins thing?
The curb stomp?
Yeah, the curb stomp. They had it banned and they reversed it. But the thing is, the RKO is so popular.
I know. I
don't think that WWE is looking at using the punch.
Yeah.
Unless it was like maybe he could have used it against Brock Lesnar. But I think they just went. I don't think I enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, in that time, I think the punt would have been the equalizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because F5. Two things. Yeah. This guy means RKO, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the punt was his back in 09. That was his tool. He took.
I mean,
so he should have been.
Yeah, I mean, they could have with Brock Lesnar. They could have used it, but I don't know why they didn't use it. It was a massive opportunity just to bring it back, just for like that one special match. Because I didn't see Randy winning against Brock at all. Like John Cena, maybe you could see him winning. But with Randy Orton, there was no way he was going to.
I think to beat Brock, you need like a muscular.
Which is why I was thinking maybe Braun Strowman would have won against him.
Yeah.
But I think Drew is slightly more like he's not like essentially he's a babyface at this point. He's a babyface.
So I'm seeing like Braun is more like I don't care, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
Whereas Drew is like he thinks before he does stuff. I'll just put it that way. So that's why.
And both of them are champions at the moment.
I know.
Both of them are WWE champions, which is good.
Drew McIntyre's WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh, Drew McIntyre's WWE champion, and Braun Strowman's
It doesn't matter, man. They all like
it's all the same. They all look the same. It's just a blue belt and a black belt.
Yeah. I won the old belts back, WWE and World Championship.
Okay, coming back. So Seth Rollins, what would you say? What would you rate it out of 5?
Just because of Kevin Owens' jump, give it a 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A 4? Would you say it's a 4? Because I'd probably rate like the AJ match as a 4.
Yeah, that was a 4 too. But I'm saying like I feel like that one and the tag team one was where they actually took risks.
Yeah. I'd probably I mean I'd probably say like a 3.5, maybe like a 3.5, 4 maybe. But I don't think that
because
I mean, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather have the Fiend because that's who he got the Universal Championship off of, right? I would have rather have like the Fiend stay the Universal Champion and then go against John Cena and defeat him in a normal match than have him lose against Goldberg and then Goldberg loses against Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
because Braun Strowman has kind of been enough to get the belt off of Goldberg. That was the only way of doing it because Drew's occupied with Brock.
I would have said
Roman wasn't going to work. That was the thing. The initial plan was Roman versus Goldberg.
Yeah, but he pulled out.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. I mean, he's got his own reason. Yeah, which is understandable.
Fine, but like to get the title of Fiend, I would prefer Seth because Seth knocked the Fiend out with the chairs on the head.
Yeah, I mean,
just because of that, that he has.
I would have liked a longer match because essentially Goldberg speared him. And it was, I think, 2 spears and a jack, and that was it.
4 jackhammer.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Let's be honest. It was a superplex It was a suplex, wasn't it? It wasn't really a jackhammer.
He couldn't lift him. He tried to. He didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, and with Braun, and he's like heavy. He's like a
Yeah.
big dude. Like he's a
Yeah.
big boy.
Yeah, big. Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, like he's, and I mean, that had to be done.
Yeah,
like they had to take the belt off of Goldberg.
they have to. Otherwise, people are not going to be interested. When
Now
Goldberg,
with Braun,
Yeah.
I hope they don't just take it off of him like in the next month or so.
Oh,
They
no.
need to give him like a good run.
Yeah, like
Because he's lost a lot of momentum, eh?
yeah,
Like he kind of peaked with his Braun thing about a year and a half ago.
They dragged it.
Yeah.
I-
If they would have given it to him back then when he
Oh,
faced Lesnar,
The hype,
that would have skyrocketed him up the ranks. But now just winning out of nowhere, he was actually a replacement as well.
Yeah.
So Roman was supposed to win,
Yeah.
and then they gave it to Braun just because Roman pulled out.
Like, I think what they're doing is if people are attached to that one story character, they tend to drag it for so long they get bored of it.
Just to make that money,
Yeah, practically.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. I'd probably say it's like a 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like it was a squash.
Definitely.
Let's just be honest. It was a squash match. They just had to change the titles.
I see it's like a mirror of Brock versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a mirror, basically.
I mean, it's one old dude being beaten up by another big dude.
Practically.
Yeah. The next one was Undertaker and AJ Styles, which I really, really enjoyed.
Me too.
I think we've kind of talked about it already. But I think we'll just kind of quickly go over the main points because I'm looking at it and we're getting up to about an hour recording.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of editing, eh?
I know.
But yeah, so with Undertaker and AJ Styles, I think there was a bit of superstition involved. I would have liked him to be the Phenom instead of the American biker. I just didn't feel the same when Undertaker came up, like with the American biker thing.
I know. He should have been more like.
And AJ should have won. You know what I think? I think AJ should have won against the American Badass, and then him having turned into the Phenom comes back at SummerSlam and whoops AJ's ass. True. I think AJ Styles has lost. He's lost quite a lot.
He has no momentum left.
Yeah. The
point of this match was to show the Undertaker as an old man.
Yeah, and they did to an extent. They did to an extent, and after, if you remember, halfway through the match when AJ Styles was sort of dominating, after he hit Undertaker with, I think it was a sink or like a cinder block or something.
Yeah, it was a cinder block. Yeah.
After that, he was kind of just dominating the game, and I think it sounded like Undertaker he had asthma.
Yeah.
He was wheezing like anything, man.
Hell, yeah.
And I feel they should have sort of ended the match there. Or what they could have done is they could have kind of turned him, because when AJ pushed him into the grave, they should have turned him into the Phenom instead of keeping him into the American Badass thing. Because then you could kind of justify that he is right behind AJ, like as soon as the thing starts.
Yeah.
Because as an American Badass, he's a normal person. He's just a badass sort of thing. He's not the goat. He's not the dead man.
Yeah, true.
And then it doesn't make sense to me.
And what did make sense too was Undertaker, Phenom, dead man, right?
Yeah.
Character himself. But they used the Druids against him. How did they do that?
Yeah,
the Druids are always under the control of him.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. They were trying to just go off of nostalgia because they know when the Druids come up. The thing is, if they were fans, it would have been slightly better off, but it doesn't make the sense in any storytelling point of view because you've got two different personas. You can't mix both of them together unless you like Bray Wyatt, where you can switch between personalities. I don't think Undertaker can.
No.
They could have kind of experimented with it this time around, but I think they just didn't. They kind of just went off on one angle, which I don't mind. Like the match was really, really good.
Did you notice Undertaker and like before the match, I think in one of the Raw SmackDown episodes, he was like, I'm gonna bring 3 friends or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
I actually expected, because how he was outnumbered. I was expecting him to get like Kane or Stone Cold,
Yep.
from the Attitude Era, like
Uh-huh.
my friends over for me.
Yep.
That would have been a very good clash,
Yeah.
Like you see Kane pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, but apparently he's good enough for like 5-6 people.
Yeah.
So it's AJ and the Click. So no, the OG, the OC. Is it OC? OG. OC. I think it's OC, the original club. That's what it is.
No longer the
The OC says Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows.
Yeah.
And then I really liked the entrance when AJ Styles came in initially. With Undertaker's theme song.
Yeah.
in a coffin. That was actually
really that was cool, man.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice move.
But AJ got smashed. AJ
he essentially got like buried.
Yeah. Well,
but I hope they don't. I really hope they don't kind of bury him in real life. I think he'll come back, but I think he needs to take like a break.
Yeah, I think probably to leave or something.
Yeah, yes, they've kind of buried him at the moment. So I think they should probably just leave him like for a couple of weeks and then have him come back later on.
Yeah, they should do that.
Yeah, and I think he should still. Would you say that he's a better face than a heel? I think he's a better face.
Yeah, he doesn't suit heel. He even in other brands, he was always the face.
Yeah,
it's a face.
I mean, he's a far better face than he's a heel.
Yeah, he tries to act tough as a heel, but he doesn't.